Research studies consistently indicate that poverty and discrimination significantly impact the criminal justice system, especially in the context of bail reform and mass incarceration. These studies reveal that individuals from low-income backgrounds, who are disproportionately people of color, face systemic disadvantages that perpetuate cycles of poverty and incarceration. One of the most critical issues in this context is the onerous cash bail requirements that often lead to pretrial detention, exacerbating socioeconomic inequalities and affecting the lives of those unable to pay bail. Cash bail and pretrial detention. Cash bail system represents a significant barrier for low-income individuals within the criminal justice system. When someone is arrested, their ability to await trial from home often hinges on their financial resources. Those who can afford to post bail are granted temporary freedom, while those without the necessary funds remain incarcerated until their court date. This disparity creates a two-tiered system of justice, one for the wealthy and another for the poor. For individuals from low-income backgrounds, the inability to pay bail often results in extended periods of pretrial detention. This pretrial detention can last for months or even years, depending on the complexity of the case and the backlog in the court system. During this time, these individuals remain behind bars, regardless of their guilt or innocence, simply because they lack the financial means to secure their release. Socioeconomic consequences of pretrial detention. Consequences of pretrial detention are far-reaching and profoundly impact the lives of those affected. One of the most immediate consequences is the loss of employment. When individuals are detained pretrial, they are unable to report to work, leading to job loss and the associated financial instability. This loss of employment has a cascading effect, contributing to housing instability and exacerbating poverty. Family stability is also severely affected by pretrial detention. Incarcerated individuals are separated from their families, leading to emotional and financial strain. Family members may struggle to make ends meet in the absence of the detained individual's income, and children may experience trauma and instability due to the absence of a parent. This separation can have long-lasting effects on family dynamics and the overall well-being of those involved. Additionally, pretrial detention increases the likelihood of individuals pleading guilty to secure their release, even if they are innocent. The pressure to return to their families and jobs often leads detainees to accept plea deals that result in criminal records. This criminal record further complicates their lives, creating barriers to employment, housing, and educational opportunities, and perpetuating a cycle of disadvantage and incarceration. Disproportionate impact on people of color, impact of the cash bail system, and pretrial detention is disproportionately felt by people of color. Studies show that individuals from marginalized communities are more likely to be arrested and face higher bail amounts compared to their white counterparts. This disparity is rooted in systemic racism and biases within the criminal justice system. People of color, particularly Black and Latino individuals, are overrepresented in low-income populations due to historical and ongoing discrimination in various societal sectors, including employment, education, and housing. This overrepresentation makes them more vulnerable to the negative effects of cash bail and pretrial detention, further entrenching racial disparities within the criminal justice system. Addressing the issue, bail reform recognizing the inequities and harm caused by the cash bail system. Some jurisdictions have begun implementing bail reform measures aimed at reducing the reliance on cash bail and mitigating its negative impact on low-income individuals. These reforms often include the use of risk assessment tools to determine an individual's likelihood of reoffending or failing to appear in court, non-monetary release conditions, and supervised release programs. Bail reform efforts seek to ensure that pretrial detention is based on an individual's risk rather than their financial resources. By reducing the use of cash bail, these reforms aim to decrease the number of individuals held in pretrial detention. minimize the socioeconomic consequences of detention, and address the systemic biases that disproportionately affect marginalized communities. Conclusion-reach studies clearly demonstrate that poverty and discrimination significantly impact the criminal justice system, particularly in the context of bail reform and mass incarceration. The cash bail system exemplifies how financial resources determine legal outcomes, creating severe disadvantages for low-income individuals, particularly people of color. The consequences of pretrial detention extend beyond the individual, affecting employment, family stability, and perpetuating cycles of poverty and incarceration.